Hello, my name is Kimberly Wilson of Tranquility du Jour, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Kimberly. So please grab a cup of tea, grab a pen and paper. You can also download the worksheet that you will find listed in the notes section of this video. And it has 4 boxes for my journaling prompts that I'm going to walk you through as we think about doing a little mid-year reflection. So I just finished my mid-year virtual retreat, so it's fresh on my mind. And I thought it might be helpful to also kind of take you through the process in case you'd like a few nuggets from the experience. So number 1, my first question for you is we're here at the midway point, and actually whenever you're watching this video, we're at some point in the year, right? And so how is this year feeling for you so far? So giving you a moment to answer, how is 2022 feeling for me? You can just hit the pause button, and then as you're ready, come back. All right, number 2, my second question for you. How's your word, your theme for the year? Maybe a big dream that you had or a hope for this year? How's that unfolding? Are you like, I don't remember my word or theme of the year? Are you like, oh, that was so me 6 months ago, but it's not anymore? All right. So, how's my word, theme, big dream, or hope for this year unfolding? Again, just hit the pause button, take a moment to answer this, and then come back. All right. Are we ready for number 3? So, number 3, when I think about a seasonal life review, and I'll show you what I mean by that, and there'll be a worksheet, downloadable PDF in the notes. But here is a seasonal life review. So it's basically, you've probably done this in various workshops, retreats, experiences. Basically, it's kind of like a wheel of life, right? So looking at these different areas of your life, finances, wellness, home, dreams, creativity, career, relationships, self-care, and spirituality, and ranking these on a scale of 1 to 10 with how satisfied are you in these areas of your life right now, right? So taking a moment to do that, again, there's a downloadable PDF in the notes below, or just jotting down these different areas that I mentioned and ranking them scale of 1 to 10. So I'll give you a moment to do that. And then whenever you're done, come back and I'll walk you through the next part. All right, so are we ready for the next piece, which is looking at your life review? Okay, so now that you have filled it out, hopefully you've had a moment to fill this out. Think about which areas are you doing pretty good. You're like, I'm like a 7, 8, I feel good. Or I'm like a 5, but I'm okay with it. And then note which areas you would like to improve on. So maybe, for example, home. You're like, oh, my place is just like a mess. It's just in disarray. Or, I just don't feel cozy at home, or whatever it might be, right? So say that was a 3 or a 4, thinking about what you could do to lift that up to maybe a 5 or a 6. So when I look at my seasonal life review, this is the third prompt. Where am I doing well? And what needs a little bit more attention? Okay, so that's your third prompt. And again, a reminder that a PDF for the life review, seasonal life review, that again, I encourage that we do seasonally, just a little check-in. How are you feeling? Sometimes we don't pay attention to these certain areas because we're like, I'm just going about my day. But how is your career feeling? How are your relationships feeling? How are your finances feeling? All these different things to think about. And then number 4. So this is a good one. And I think this is a really powerful one to check in with yourself about regularly. Is there anything in my daily life that feels out of alignment with who I want to be or how I want to show up? Right? So is there anything in my daily life that feels out of alignment with who I want to be and how I want to show up. So I'll give an example that I shared during the mid-year virtual retreat is I'm not reading as much as I would like to. And yet I love buying, I don't know if you guys are in BookBub, but I love buying like, oh, $1.99 Kindle. Of course I get that book. So I have a lot of those. And then of course I have a lot of books, right? And so instead, what am I doing in the evenings? Well, maybe I'm scrolling through my phone or watching a show with my partner, which is all lovely, but I also want to be reading. So is there anything in my daily life that feels out of alignment with who I want to be, a reader, reading all these books that I'm purchasing, and or how I want to show up, right? So just spending a few moments with that and just hit the pause button and then come back when you're ready. All right, so welcome back. And these 4 questions are just some ideas to help as you think about where you are at this stage of the year and you think back to who you wanted to be when the year started, right? So number 1 was we're at the midway. How is the year feeling for you? Number 2 is how's my word, my theme, my big dream, my hope? If you picture yourself New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, how's that unfolding? No judgment. I want to emphasize that. No judgment. Just asking yourself. Again, you may be like, I am just so not interested in that anymore. Right? Or, oh, I'd forgotten about that. Let me pick that back up. Or, oh, I'm doing that. I'm working with that. It's funny, my word of the year is practice. And it definitely has been an important part of my first 6 months. Number 3, when I review my seasonal life review, again, which is the handout that you can download below. When I review this, what do I notice that I'm doing well? Of course, we always want to bring our attention to what we're doing well and what needs a little more attention, a little more love. And then last but not least, is there anything in my daily life that feels out of alignment with who I want to be or how I want to show up? All right, so I hope these are helpful as you think about doing a little mid-year reflection, checking in with yourself, spending some time, use a marker, journal, whatever kind of feels helpful. This is an example of what I did for the mid-year virtual retreat by art journaling, right? So you use collage and Sharpie and washi tape and all sorts of fun stuff. And I whipped that together in 20 minutes. So it doesn't take a ton of time, but it allows you to bring visual images into, particularly as you think about how do I want to show up the rest of 2022. All right, thanks for tuning in. Drop me a note, hello@kimberlywilson.com, and let me know how this resonated with you and anything that unfolds with it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.